Why does Shen look drugged out of his mind? What's going on, Terran House? And today we're gonna spawn a sister of Parvos. So unfortunately, the sisters of Parvos have vastly weaker weaponry to what you can get from the Kuvalich, and it does have quite a bit more startup in order to get it. First off, you need the new war done, you need the Deadlock Protocol done, you need Call of the Tempestari done, and you need to have Azorius. So the way that this works: Call of the Tempestari completed, MR5, and Deadlock Protocol completed. You don't even really need to complete the Deadlock Protocol. Hey guys, quick correction here. You do need to have the Deadlock Protocol completed in order for the treasures to spawn and actually drop the Zenith coins that you need in order to get into the Granum Void to spawn a Sister of Parvos. But you do need the Zorus. So the Zorus is a glaive that you'll get from the Deadlock Protocol, and this is the build.
Now get out there and
cut down the...
I still have not scripted Ortis into my scripts, and I probably should. This is the build that we have for the Zorus. If you wanted to, you could drop an Umbral Formus. That way you could put on Whirlwind in your Exilus slot. Whirlwind or Dispatch Overdrive would be what I would prefer personally, but Whirlwind's pretty good, getting that extra projectile speed when you throw the weapon. It really is up to choice if you want that or the movement speed whenever you use the heavy attack. The important thing here, though, is that you have melee influence. If you're going to slot an arcane on this at all, you actually can do this content with just Organ Shatter, Pressure, and Steel. For what we're going to do, you just need these 3 mods. Unfortunately, you will need to put a Catalyst in this to put these 2 mods on. But this weapon actually is very comparable to the Glaive Prime, which is kind of the best of its class in the game, the best throwing weapon.
Navigation has been updated with new invasions. Chaos is spreading.
Thank you, Lotus. You know, sometimes I wish I would just go in and disable all of the VO stuff that happens in the game, but I don't want to. So, Zorus here. That's the build. Why do we use the Zorus? Because this can one-shot the Granum Spectres. So when we get into the Granum Void, we'll see the Spectres. I am going to use an Aros because whatever weapon I end up generating is going to be heat. I haven't actually thought about what weapon I'm going to get yet, mostly because there's only really one Tenant weapon to talk about, and it's the Tenant Archoplasmor. The Archoplasmor is the best Tenant weapon that is offered. In fact, there are a lot of people that say only go for the Arca and disregard the other ones, and I can kind of agree with that. The Envoy is a rocket launcher that is a briefcase, but it's really not that good. The Tenant Tetra does have an alt fire where you can eject the magazine as a grenade, but it really just doesn't have the crit stats that you're going to be looking for in a weapon. And then the Flux Rifle is just kind of a Flux Rifle. Like, it can do some memey stuff, but it's really not that good. The Arca tends to be what people will go for. And then as far as secondary Tenant weapons go, the only one really worth talking about is the Cycron. But the Cycron is basically a discount battery version of the Kuva Nucor. So it's hard to say go for a Tenant secondary when all of them are competing with the Latum in the Kuva Nucor. The Cycron is technically the best one. The Plinx is not bad either because it has its alt fire. You shoot a projectile that will vortex enemies in and then explode, and it does have good crit damage, but it's not the greatest. There are Tenant melee weapons, before I forget, but they do not actually come from... There's more than these 3. I don't have them all. They don't actually come from the Sisters of Parvos. They come from the parent sequence at a relay, and we're just going to go on ahead and jump over there real quick. Alright, Terran House, and here we are in the Strata relay. It's just the one on Earth. It's in the same spot no matter which relay you go to, and we're just going to hop over here to the Parent Sequence Syndicate, and this is Ergoglosk. He is the one who sells, you can see that he has them on display here, the Tenant weapons. There are 5 of them, and he sells them all.
Good fortune, Terran.
He has a 2-day or a weekly rotation, just like all of the other stuff in the game, and you can see what element. Like this one has 55 impact, this one has 35 magnetic, and there's the 5 different melee weapons. I actually do want to pick up this Leva, and he sells them to you for the corrupted hollow keys that you get from the void storms. So sometimes when you open a relic, these will come out of them. It's one of the worst farms in the entire game, in my opinion. But this is a toxin / based Leva, and I don't have it, so I'm gonna go on ahead and grab it real quick. They are all 40 hollow keys per one, and you will need multiple of them because these do have, as you can see, this one's magnetic, and it does tell you the bonus that's on them. 41% toxin's really good. It's really hard for these weapons to be good when 1, they're a colossal pain in the ass to get, 2, they're competing with the glaive and other more readily available. The Zorus that you get in order to actually use the Tenet to get the other Tenet weapons is actually far better than any of these. But anyway, back into the mission to explain how to make a sister, and we will be right back in that. Alrighty guys, welcome back from the transition there, and we are going to go to Hydra. So, unlike when you're trying to spawn a Kubelich, you still do need level 20 plus Corpus enemies as opposed to Grenier, but what will cause the sister to spawn is not actually the amount of kills that you got when your screen flashed, it's whether or not you did the Granum Void. After you have completed the Deadlock Protocol, the Corpus ships specifically, so you see how this node is out here in space and it's got the little ship icon, or like Arca here, how it has the ship icon, or Palace, how it's got the ship icon. The ships will spawn little treasures, is what they're called, and they're annoying as hell. They are very tanky, their shields ignore toxin damage, so you can't punch through them with that. But what you're looking for
We received intel that
is this right here. Thankfully, I got the tile where it spawns right out the beginning. You're looking for these little coins. You need to put at least one of the coins in. It doesn't matter if you do Granum or the Zenith Granum. I'm going to do the Zenith because that's what I have the most of. The tier of crown is where you'll get Proteus chassis systems or neuroptics, and then these guys will spawn, and all we gotta do is heavy attack them with the Zorus, and they will get immediately destroyed. Now, when I have those 3, if you look right there, I've got those 3 little dips. I can go over here. This is one of the Fortuna people, and we can just heavy attack him with a full charge. He will get freed, and that will actually boost the amount of time that we have remaining here in the Granum Void. The other way to boost your time in the Granum Void is to pick up... Oh, I picked it up instead of looking at it. These little time pyramids. So picking one of these up will give you an extra 15 seconds. You need to get at least 50 kills of these Granum Spectres in order to spawn a sister. So, the Zorus thankfully has pretty big explosions and will kill these guys outright. As far as what weapon you will get, you don't get a choice in the matter. It is exactly like the Kuba weapons where you killed the Lich, or you killed the Larvaling. I think they're called prospects for the sisters, I'm not entirely sure. But you kill it, and before you mercy kill it, it'll be like, we'll give you X weapon. And then when you decide to mercy kill her, you will get the weapon. Candidates, they're called candidates. I have that in my script. I literally in script called them candidates. I need to just look over at my other monitor. So as you see, I got 75, which means we are good. Now, when you're in the Granum Void, this world that we're in now, the normal world, does pause. So it's not like my capture target was getting any further away from me that entire time. I could have been not an Aros for this, but that's,
Bring them in.
you know, whatever. There we go.
Candidate,
As we can see, Vala Galerios,
to remember your tenets.
and that's the symbol.
Brother Parvos is watching.
I at one point had it written down which ones I don't need. I know I need an envoy, so I think we just go for an envoy. And here we go, candidate, kill it, and Secret Mercy. The Spearx is one that I already have maxed out, so we're not going to go for a Spearx. But that is how you spawn a Sister of Parvos, and kind of the easy mode way to do it. The Zorus just makes this such an easy thing to do. It's almost like DE designed it to do it. Lol W. So we're gonna go on ahead. I'm gonna extract from this mission, and when I cut back in, as you can see, I let her bleed out, so Parvos is being a dickhead. And when we come back, I will know which weapon I need in order to complete it, and I will. Oh shit!
Sacred tokens shall remain secure from the grasp of the idol.
So these are the treasures. Like, he's even taking damage from me kind of effectively. And as you can see, he drops a little crown. This is a high level mission, so he dropped his zenith. But that is the treasure. It looks the exact same as the candidate. They literally reused the asset there. It's a little stupid. But hey, I'll cut back to you guys when I have a weapon. Why does Shen look drugged out of his mind? He looks drugged. Don't need Diplos. I don't need a Cycron. I need a...
Wait a minute!
Spearx and Secret Mercy. The Spearx is one that I already have maxed out, so we're not gonna go for... I need a Spearx, an Envoy, and a Tetra. Always remember to check your notes, boys. I don't need the Diplos, that's sad. So, just another example of if you don't get the weapon you want, you tell them to eat your ass and you leave. This is also where you get the Mortis Shoulder Guard, by the way, heads up. Figure I should make a little side mention of that before we get too far on. This video is going to be very pieced together. There'll be a lot of clipping and transitions on my part, because unfortunately I have a whopping total of 2 weapons that I need to get. It's actually 3 weapons, but I can only get 2 of them because I already cleared the Spearx from the pool because I'm an idiot. Always check your notes, boys. The reason, by the way, that I have more of the Tenet weapons done than the Kuva weapons is even though the Kuva weapons are like infinitely better and more useful, I'm more of a tech head. Wait, the tech marine likes the tech-based stuff. What the shit, guys? Oh, did the fucking really?
Brother, another candidate steps forward. In the
Yeah, well, that candidate doesn't have a Spearx, an Envoy, or a Tetra. She's going into the void.
Little stone, I shall see whether your core is diamond or dross.
It's dross. Oh! I didn't mention this, but you can't actually go into the void if there's enemies nearby. As you can see, it won't let me put a crown in. So you need to commit genocide on the things near you. What do you mean there's no... This is why I bring explosives everywhere. Again, if she doesn't have a Spearx, an Envoy, or a Tetra, I don't care. Alright, please give me one of the weapon. Hey, Envoy, let's go! Alright, so she offered an Envoy, we stabbed the candidate. The candidate gets this cool animation. And now we will see what we got as far as a sister of Parvos. Alright, and let's see who we got here.
What will you become?
Talina Petalux?
You.
Alright, So now we have a sister of Parvos, and as you can see there at her side, she has a dog.
Come to me.
She has a little puppy. You do, in fact, get the dog. They are known as the Tenant Hounds. There are 3 of them. Here we have Call 177, Jackal, and Boops. You can also, as you kill off sisters, you will get hound parts. There are 3 hound heads, and then there's like different stabilizers and all of the other hound parts that you can get. They're under the modular, or no, they're under the modular tab. And I think if you put in Tenet, no, it doesn't pull them up. But as you can see here, there's like the Adelic core. They use Fortuna resources to build for the most part. But you can build a dog. You do get the chance to build a dog. In fact, I think I have one that's like ready to be put together at legs. So let's go on ahead and flip over to legs on Fortuna real quick to show you guys the build a hound process, just because that'll encompass in this video. Alright, and here we are. We're at legs. So legs is the one who lets you configure a hound companion. You need a head, which we have the Briar head. You need a core. I went with the Adelit. A bracket. This is the part that I was missing. I couldn't remember if I had built this yet, but the best one of these is going to be, in my opinion, whichever one you think looks the best. I personally like the Sella, but losing 10 armor for 20% more shields or 20% more health and 30% more shields is probably really good. And then the stabilizer that I went with, this is again whichever one you think looks best, because even though it says it installs the synergized proboscis, or that really doesn't matter, neither does the polarity, because you can always change it, and you can pretty much always use all 3 of these. So again, you can just go with whichever one you think looks the coolest. I like the big bulky dog, but you know, go with what you want. The Heck is probably my second favorite, and then I don't like the boot snoot too much. But yeah, the core is the torso, which will actually get me into next episode. We're going to talk about kit guns, but for now, we have our sister. We did the spawning. That was a few cut together stuff. As you can see, this one is a fire-based one, and we got a fire-based rocket launcher briefcase from her. So, next up, not Sister Parvos related mission is going to be on kit guns and other modular weapons. But that'll be the end of this one, guys. See ya.